What's cuter than making a tiny Sylvanian family critters into their own D&D party? Last summer I bought these little Sylvanian families and I got the challenge from my partner, also our D&D master, to turn these into little D&D critters. I have 7 in total. The first one is a little mouse family, 2 different colored bunnies, and a little cat. And I think this, because he's so small, it will be perfect for a little hobbit. But that is not all. Alongside with the challenge, my partner also got me this house. And his idea was for me to turn this into a tavern. So like the beginning place of any D&D campaign. Today we are going to turn one of the critters into a little D&D character. And you might say, why only one? Well, I want to put some care into the design. I want to create their whole backstory, create a little bit of art for the characters. I also want to make a little series out of this so that I can chop this big project up into smaller pieces and that they're bite-sized chunks of cake. So here's the plan. I will be choosing one of the 7 figures at random. So I'll put them in a little box and then I'll just pull one out. And then in D&D fashion, I will roll the dice to decide their D&D class and a little bit of race attributes. I'm also gonna choose a background and then I'm gonna write a story behind the background. And then we're gonna start designing and creating the critter. The end result, I want to have a little illustration, D&D character sheet, and then the little figure. Now that that is all done, let's go and choose our critter. Gonna roll them around. I don't know where any of them are. And then I'm just gonna pick out one. Okay, we have the little bunny. I'm quite happy because this is a lot of surface area and she already has a little dress, which I can make a pattern off of. Now I need to get my dice and my dice tray and roll some characteristic for this little guy or girl. I think we're gonna start up with a girl, maybe. I don't know. I have a little lister of everything that I can decide upon, or the dice can decide upon. So we have a d12 for the randomizing class, and then a d8 for race inspo. So every odd number they have a different detail to them, so that they look more like a tiefling or a dragonborn or an elf or a fairy. So like the fairy has wings and then the tiefling has horns. And then for the background, it's also a d12 with all of the backgrounds. So we are going to randomize it for this little critter. For the random class of this bunny, we're only gonna roll it once. We have a 1, which is a barbarian. So this little bunny is going to become a barbarian. Some race inspo, which is a 6, which is nothing. So no features, just gonna be a bunny. And then as a background, we are going to roll the d12 again, which is a 3, and she's gonna become a criminal. Okay, that's quite a lot for such a sweet looking bunny, but I think we can make something out of it. But this is all her without her little dress. We're still gonna make her, I think, female because she came into a dress. She's a little female, barbarian, criminal. And that is the plan. Let me go on and design a little bit more of her background. I'm going to be very honest and say I did not expect our first character to be such a intense character, a barbarian and a criminal. So we are going to search up some inspiration. I'm going to brainstorm a little bit on my tablet on Procreate. I'm also gonna put her character into D&D Beyond so I can flesh out her character and get a nice character sheet. I think I'm just gonna go with human because that's the most basic character that you could have. So barbarian, human, technically a bunny. And then we're gonna need a cute little name for this. White bunny. So I'm thinking randomized. So I think it will be a very fun idea to give her a very girly name because she is such a harsh character. So I just asked Google for name generator fantasy woman and classic and elegant names, which is totally the opposite of this character. It's going to be either Cassandra, Ophelia, Isodol, Guinevere, Seraphina, or Philomena. So I'm just gonna put these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna roll the dice for these, and then that's gonna be her name. So her name is gonna be number 2, which is Ophelia. There is a hare species, but I do not have the resources for that. So because she is still level 1, her max hit points is going to be 14, and her hit dice is going to be 1d12. Her barbarian skill proficiency is probably gonna become... that's gonna be a different one. I'm choosing between animal handling and intimidation or nature or perception, because she's gonna be a criminal. I think animal handling is very cute for a little critter, but I do want to think about the character. So I think intimidation as a criminal would be cool. So we're gonna do intimidation. I've never played a barbarian before, so this is all new to me. I have listened to quite a lot of D&D campaigns, especially from Tales of the Stinky Dragon, which I love the barbarian characters. I think a battle axe is very on brand for this one. And then she's gonna just gonna give her a dagger for the small on the go, just stabbing little annoying people. And then her background is gonna be criminal. Character detail. Ooh, I have not decided on this one yet. So chaotic evil, chaotic good, chaotic neutral. So there are 9 out of these. I'm just gonna roll with a d10 to make that decide for me. The d10. She is going to become lawful good as a criminal. Okay. Kind of confusing, but she's gonna be lawful good. And then we're gonna roll for the lifestyle yet again, which is a 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's comfortable with her money, probably because she's a criminal. And then physical characteristics. Well, she has white hair, furry white skin. Eyes are, well, they are black here, so they're just gonna be black. Height, she's probably, well, I can say this length, which is, let me just get my absurdly long ruler. She is small length of 9 centimeters, which means she is just above 3 inches tall. We're just gonna write that down. So 9 centimeters. Her age is gonna be, I think we're gonna have a D100 and a D10. So 1 to 100. That's gonna choose the age of this character, which means she is 33. She's 33 years old. What is the average weight of a bunny? 1 to 5 pounds. So I think she's gonna be like a hefty bunny because she is a barbarian. So I'm just gonna say she's 5 pounds for weight. And then personal characteristics. Personality traits: mischievous, loud as an extrovert. She looks very sweet, but in actuality she can be quite naughty, and she has a very quick tongue. So she could be like charming a person, but then in actuality she's just wronging them. I always have trouble with writing ideals of a character. So what drives and motivates your characters, what values do they most important, what are they fighting for? I think she just wants a good meal on her plate. So I think she's gonna be a foodie. She's really gonna like food, and yeah, I think that will will be nice. So for bonds, from who does your character care about most, to what place do they feel special connection, what's their most treasured possession. I think she is probably very overprotective to her little brother. We're just gonna name him, what's another Shakespearean name? I think I'm just gonna call her little brother Arthur. And I think she learned her skills maybe from her adoptive barbarian father. Her adoptive barbarian father. And a valuable possession is probably just gonna be her axe. This character is way more interesting than my own D&D characters, so I might need to check into that. And then notes, backstory. I think it's fun that her adoptive father will be a barbarian to protect his flock. But suddenly, one day, she woke up with her brother missing. I think she woke up when she was... It would be fun if she was 15. And after 18 years, she's still searching for him. So she has a goal, finding her little brother. Just gonna roll her currency as well. So out of 20 gold, she's gonna have 12, probably because she has plundered people. Platinum, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go with silver, which is a 15 silver. And then a copper, which is one copper. We're just gonna add that. And that is it. And we are just gonna save this to my files. So that is our character. So let's go ahead and design something for her. So that took us a while. I think that took us about a half an hour. I'm going to take a picture of her and then we're just gonna draw over her and see what we can come up with. She is a little bit dirty, so I think I might have to clean her, or I have to give her a little bit of different color, like different spots and just details as a bunny as well, which would be kind of cute for a character design. Gonna start with darkening one of the ears because I think that's the safest bet. I looked up some female barbarian pictures and all of them had red hair for one kind of reason. So we are just gonna go and have her have a little bit of a reddish tint in her brown spots. I think it will also be cute to give her very white tips at the end of her ears, but that will be later. She's like a suede texture, so I need to wet it all before I put any color on her. Otherwise it's just gonna be very chunky. I want her to look very cute, so that the fact that she's a barbarian would shock you even more. I think we're gonna get really attached to all of these characters, even more than my own D&D campaign. Eventually, I decided to make her a lot darker than her original fur coat because I noticed that the brown was kind of clashing with the gray that she already had, so I just decided to paint it all just a light brown so that it was a little bit more cohesive. We have some filts here, so they are from the Zeeman. They're quite stiff but very thin. It's quite a large piece. Let's give it up to here. So for the leather bits of her costume, I decided to make them out of this felt, just sewed it all by hand, no glue here, like I originally planned, and then I sewed it to the original dress that she had, because I did draw in a pink dress, and I thought, well, why would I make a fully new dress when I already have a pink fabric? So I just sewed the leather costume bits onto her original dress, and that is basically all of her costume. And of course the costume still needed to be weathered a little bit, so I just painted on some dark brown and some light browns onto the leather to give them a little bit more dimension. And then for her weapon, I made her big axe on scale, and I just made it with some polymer clay, so I just rolled out a brown base for the handle and then a gray piece as well for the axe head. And then for the illustration part of this video, I decided I wanted to create a picture of a campaign that I already did with her. So in this illustration she was raging, and I wanted to create the POV of the werewolf that she was slaying with her last and final raging blow. So that is basically this illustration, which put her in her action and into her rage, and I created her a little bit more humanoid so that she will be a little bit more accurate to how you could play her as a character, instead of having just a tiny little bunny to play with. But yeah, I made her pink rage, a little bit flamey around her, so it's her aura that is glowing and she looks very intimidating, nodding back to the intimidation proficiency. And then as a background, our D&D campaign was set in a mine, so I just decided to create a mine illustration in the back. I really liked this campaign that we did. My boyfriend, he just did a little one-shot with a friend of mine because it was her first time playing D&D, and we wanted to teach her the D&D things, so he decided to make up a D&D campaign just on the spot, and this is what came out of it, and it really inspired me to make this illustration. and I'm very happy about how it turned out. Yeah. And then as a bonus, I also wanted to create a kind of sticker design for her. So this is just a little sticker design of the bunny character in a little bit of a chibi form. So that is her, Ophelia. And now that that is all done, here is the final result. And that wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you stayed until this long, what are you still doing here? Go and do something D&D-ish or creative yourself. And for now, I think I'm just gonna log off and finish this video, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.